Watch this before summoning for Ultra Vegito Blue. Just go ahead and summon for him. I'm not even joking. Like, who else are you going to be saving for? This is the unit that everyone has been saving to summon for. So there's really no reason to skip, right? Now, obviously, not everyone is a fan of Vegito or Fusion Wars or whatever the case may be. I know that's really hard to believe. I don't even believe it myself. But for those people that are not a fan of Vegito for whatever reason, then I guess you can go ahead and skip it. But I will say, obviously, this is going to be an Ultra banner. Now, we don't know if the banner is going to be different because, you know, the team of this 5th anniversary is just doing all sorts of different things. So it's very possible that we might see a new type of Ultra banner. I'm not going to bet anything on it, but it's possible. And if we do see it once data mines hit, I will update the pinned comment with all the information, such as the featured units, the Ultra. I mean, well, we already know it's going to be one Ultra, and just the format itself if we have information on that. But let's say it's just going to be a regular Ultra banner, right? Ultra banners are notoriously known for being very shitty. Now, obviously, the rate is at 0.35%, and with these double rates for the second step, which is all fine and stuff, but the banner itself is usually not the greatest, right? But usually when you're summoning on these Ultra banners, you're only going for that one unit, the Ultra unit, and in this case, Ultra VB. Now, a couple of things you need to know when summoning this for this unit, right? He's going to be buffing 3 tags. He's gonna mainly have the same, basically have the same tags as the Vegito Blue, the purple Vegito Blue, whatever the case may be. So he's gonna be buffing Fusion Warriors, Future, and God Key. Now, Fusion Warriors, it's gonna be a pretty solid team. We already have a good foundation with this Ultra Gogeta Blue. Super Vegito can still put in the work if you really need him to. But, you know, it's gonna be really a 2-man show here with Ultra Gogeta Blue and Ultra Vegito Blue, and a good third option, Super Vegito. But most people would like to, you know, leader slot another unit like Future Gohan for the support, Pan for the support. That can work out, and or even another unit like Ultra Rose as the leader slot, and that would work out pretty well. So if you have the existing Ultra units with some of the Zenkai units, such as the Red Gogeta, who's going to be providing a Zenkai buff for this Vegito Blue, then you can easily build a very good Fusion Warriors team, as well as this Vegito Zenkai that's going to be very good, giving a semi-Zenkai buff, but as well as a really good Z ability with the 40% strike defense and blast defense, as well as a 20% strike attack for Vegito units. So that's going to be a very good bench for this team here. And then the bench for Fusion Wars is just really, really good. You got Super Vegito Zenkai, you got an HP with Gotenks. This Vegito, it might be too blast oriented, so you could swap this Vegito out with the Super Gogeta and it'll work perfectly fine there, right? So that's for Fusion Wars. It's going to be a really good tag. And next up, we have Future, which is most likely going to be the better team for Vegito. It's going to be pretty close with Future, right? Fusion Wars, but obviously the mainstay, the best unit on this team is going to be Ultra Rose. And I also forgot to note that Vegito is red, right? And he's going to be a mainstay on all his teams. We already know his kit is cracked. He's looking like easily a top 3 unit. A lot of people are not convinced that he's the best unit. People think like Go Frieza is still better due to his stupid buff that he should have never gotten. But he still hasn't argued potentially for being the best unit in the game. We'll just have to wait and see how he performs, which is why it's important to say that before you even summon on these banners, it's always good to watch YouTubers showcase or other people showcase, anyone's showcase, right? To get a good understanding of how he performs, because the last thing you want is to just get dragged by the hype and summon for a unit that ends up being mediocre afterwards. Now, I'm pretty sure this is not going to happen for this Vegito, but for example, Orange Piccolo is a very anticipated unit, very hyped unit, so a lot of people summoned for him. But then as time went on, people noticed that he wasn't as good as originally anticipated, and you know, they end up just regretting summoning for him, right? So keep in mind, watch some videos and all that stuff, and then make your decision from there, right? So back to Future, it's gonna be pretty much a kind of similar build to Fusion Warriors. Not necessarily, the bench will be completely different, but what I mean by that is that you're gonna have a leader slot option in the form of potentially Gogeta Blue or even Pan or any type of support unit. But if you want to go for a pure Future setup, you're gonna rock this Goku Black. You got the Sword of Hope Trunks that recently got a Zenkai, and he has endurance, so he has that rush control. And you also have Zamasu, who is always it feels like is always used in these Future setups, right? You also have Kid Buu that you can rock in the leader slot. Is something that I like to do with the Future team. But you can also even run a pretty simple red-red-green setup with the second form Cell. He can perform pretty well as well. And of course, Future Gohan with the support there. But Future has some pretty decent options, and then you're gonna just have to try and mix and match some Zenkai buffs. There is no Future Zenkai buff for Vegito. This Goku Black buff's powerful opponent, so you might have to bring in some other type of bench for him. But Goku Black and VB is gonna be a very disgusting setup. I think it's gonna be one of the better duos in the game for sure. So that's Future. Let's move on to God Ki. Now, God Ki is pretty much similar to Future, right? You got Rose, you got Zamasu, Trunks and Vegeta. I don't even know why I mentioned them, but you have Gogeta Blue as well. The thing is, if you're gonna build a God Ki team, you're better off just building a Fusion Warriors team or a Future team. Mainly probably a Fusion Warriors team, because if you're gonna be running Gogeta Blue and Gogeta Blue and Vegito Blue, then you're gonna be wanting to build it more fusion based, because then this guy's gonna be leadered and you'll still get the majority of your Ultra ability, right? You can't really build a pure God Ki team, like strictly these God Ki units with these triple Ultras, because you're gonna be missing out on some Ultra abilities, right? But let's say you didn't have any of these Ultra units, right? Which at that point it's gonna be kind of tough to build a very competitive team, but you could still manage. Let's say you had Ultra Vegito Blue, you can run him with Zamasu. Rev UI can be built strike based and it will still perform really well, so you can run him with Rev UI, Zamasu, and Ultra Vegito Blue, and that can be a pretty solid setup, not gonna lie. I might have to test that out, but that's looking like a pretty solid setup. UI Sign is a very good option as well. You can run double UIs or double UI Signs with UVB. They can both be built strike oriented. Like, obviously you want to maybe focus more blast oriented, but they have balanced stats. Actually, this UI has a higher strike attack, so you can build them strike oriented with UV, right? So that can work out pretty well as well. And then these units, other units, not really worth mentioning. They're just pretty much fodder at this point, but that's going to be the main teams. But even if you don't main any of these three teams, like, VB is going to be such a good unit that you might even want to leader slot him on teams that you main that are maybe lacking in a red unit, or just lacking in an overall meta relevant unit, right? Like, I already know for a fact that this UVB is going to be paired alongside LF Go Frieza. Like, that is going to happen for sure. Uni Reps with potentially a UVB leader is going to be absolutely disgusting. You can actually even build it pretty well. You can do a red-red-purple setup, Go Frieza, hit Vegito. You can run Jiren instead of hit. You can run this Kyoei instead of hit. 17 Go Frieza and UVB. Uni Reps indirectly will get buffed with this Ultra Vegito Blue, and I'm pretty sure at this point everyone's rocking Uni Reps. 99% of matches against Uni Reps. 99% of matches is against Go Frieza. UVB being such a crazy Rising Rush merchant, and then this guy blocking all sorts of Rising Rush. It's just a disgusting combination. It's most likely going to be the best setup to use if you want to grind up ranks in PvP. Like, you'll easily just fit him anywhere on a team and he'll work, right? So that's why I said in the beginning, you pretty much want to summon, even if, like, even if you don't want to go completely in, at least toss in a rotation or two, and test your luck, because you never know. I've pulled units in the first rotation, so you never know. You can easily pull them, but I would highly suggest summoning for this unit, trying to pull him, because he's going to be pretty good, and I think he's going to age pretty well. I mean, I say this, and then he might end up being like USV, where they just drop a hard counter out of nowhere, but it's hard to predict the future with with this game in terms of power creep. So I personally would recommend summoning, but if you're really against summoning for this guy, since you don't main any of these teams, and your teams are perfectly fine, then at that point you can easily skip this. But I say easily, but it's not an easy skip. You will have to be extra powerful. You have to be one of the strongest person in the multiverse to just skip this banner, because it is Vegito Blue, and everyone has been waiting for this man. So definitely tune in for these summons on my channel. I'm going to be doing live summons for this man, so definitely tune in, and it's going to be a fun time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe. It's so important, so don't forget. Have a great day. See ya.